Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome in to a Friday edition playoff style couple game sixes tonight for the Establish the Run DFS injury analysis show. Filling in for Drew Dinkmeyer, I am Gary Hartman, joined as always by the best in the biz at breaking down rotations, injury changes, playoff matchups, everything and anything in between. Mike Gallagher. Mike, how you doing?
Doing good. Yeah, got a nice little hike in. I'm writing up the Nuggets Suns game, and I'm just I'm in basketball nerd heaven. Just looking at all the factors for the Nuggets and Suns tomorrow. I'm so pumped for that game. But yeah, pumped for this slate too. Two really big games. Home teams can close it out. Definitely rooting for the home teams to close it out. I've got some bets on them from a series perspective. But yeah, really exciting. And not a lot of big injury stuff, but a lot we could talk through though.
Yeah, I'm really pumped for the semis as well. I think all the series are going to be a lot of fun. And, I was thinking about this earlier. It kind of was like the NFL. Like, to me, the divisional round in the NFL is the best round of the playoffs, right? The round before the NFC and AFC championships. It's similar here. Like, all these series, no matter what happens in this other one in the West, are going to be a blast. And I'm really excited for all of them. Glad you got some time outside as the kind of slates kind of thin down. But we do have a 2-game tonight, as you and I kind of powered our way through a showdown slate last night. Let's talk through. We're going to go team by team. We'll talk rotation changes, couple injury concerns here and there. Let's start with the Kings. And obviously the big question mark with Sacramento is how Darren Fox responded with the broken finger. Certainly no issues with minutes. He actually had a series high 42 minutes, I believe, in game 5, and still continued his 50-plus point DraftKings scoring streak, but was not as efficient as we projected, 9 of 25 from the field. What did you see out of Fox, and what are you expecting here for him or anything else Kings-wise?
Yeah, generally how he looked, is if you take away the efficiency stuff, which I'll get into, I thought he looked pretty normal, right? The ball handling was really good, 9 assists, bunch of potential assists. He looked like Darren Fox from how he plays. Usage rate just a little bit down, but nothing really to draw from. He did struggle a bit with his and his jump shooting efficiency went down, but interestingly enough, it was a lot of his short range jumper stuff, which you would think is not as big of a factor. So honestly, I think mostly throw it out with the finger injury. I think obviously there's a little bit of risk that he's not as efficient, but I came out of it thinking, okay, I think Fox still has for me the highest ceiling on the Kings kind of by a lot, just because Sabonis has been really struggling with Kevon Looney. But yeah, I'm definitely okay playing Fox for props or whatever for DFS and stuff. But yeah, pretty encouraging signs overall.
Yeah, Drew and I were kind of taking the Fox is going to be really impacted. Maybe the minutes will be down. We want to play DFS that way. If you listen to the show on Wednesday, obviously that was the wrong approach. And just he's so important to what they're doing this series that even the inefficiency. I think you just got to lean into it still. What a revelation season this has been for Fox.
Should mention else? Too, Malik Monk got undercut by Gary Payton. We saw him talk to the trainers. He was down for a little bit, but shot his free throws, stayed in, looked fine. But was curious to see if he would get any listing. But it seems like he's good. Just a ton of minutes, man. He's playing so much. There was a note from Mike Brown saying they want to lean more into catch and shoot stuff because they've been so dependent on just dribble penetration, breaking down the defense, and trying to score in that 5 to 15 foot jumper range that Fox and Monk have been really thriving in from a volume standpoint. So I'm curious to see if Kevin Huerter bounces back. My God, your guy, 16 minutes, not great, series. Man. He's having a really rough series. So I think they want to really try to get Huerter going. Try to get Keegan went off early. He had 8. We had an under on him. Scores 8 points in 5 minutes. We're like, oh, we're dead. But yeah, he got froze. So that's something to watch. I'm going to see if their offense changes a little bit, because I think the Warriors have, and interestingly enough, I was mentioning this in matchups today, just the completely polar opposite trends from transition. The Kings went from being pretty good to really bad in transition efficiency, and the Warriors went from horrendous to now pretty good. So that's kind of been swinging the series. Curious to see if the Kings got to make some adjustments here. I think that leaning more on their shooting, which was a major problem earlier, that's kind of been corrected. So I think that's kind of the approach for the Kings today from a shot type perspective.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm hoping to see Huerter get rebound here. Obviously, Keegan Murray, completely a tale of two series so far. Barely getting minutes in the first couple games, starting to play really well, and seeing them trust him here as well. So we'll talk through all of it on the 5 o'clock DFS show. But yeah, I mean, certainly tough look for my guy, Kayvon. Or I guess he's not Kayvon right now. He's just Kevin.
Moldy red velvet cake right now. He's not.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Golden State side of things, we saw, you mentioned Monk getting undercut by Peyton a little bit. How are you expecting Warriors to continue to roll out their secondary guys? We know what to expect from the main guys, and are you expecting Draymond to come off the bench once again here?
Yeah, I mean, Kerr basically said it. Draymond also, he had some comments saying that, he kind of likes to observe the feel of the game and feel it out, which, I mean, he's one of the best at that. But the minutes are going to be there. Kerr said they're going to almost certainly close. The data supports that. That line has been ridiculously good. I think they're plus 29.7 in 34 minutes. That's the Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Dre, Looney lineup. It's been awesome. It's been awesome for years. So no reason to think he doesn't close. My take on Draymond's minutes coming down looked quite bad over the weekend. But I cover boy Draymond for my matchups column, which was maybe a little bit spicy. But I mean, the role is insane, man. He's taking just a ton of layups over the last couple games. They're letting him shoot them. And the Warriors are attacking the paint. We talk about it all year, right? The Kings are vulnerable around the paint. Warriors kind of know this, and they've been more aggressive. So expecting pretty good role from Draymond. Very odd substitution pattern for Gary Payton. We saw him go away in the last game, and he didn't sub in until after Draymond had his first stint off the bench. So that's been really odd. I thought he played really well. I thought he limited Fox a little bit. So I'm curious to see if he's maybe earned a little bit more. Maybe subbing in for Dante DiVincenzo's substitution pattern when he subs in for Stafford Poole. But yeah, pretty sure we're not going to see Kuminga. Moody kind of ninth-ish man, may not play at all. Expecting really big minutes. Wiggins has been fantastic. Looney's been second best player of the series, best player in the series. I mean, he's been so good. And we expect him to play a lot. I mean, 35 minutes from Kevon Looney, man. Just guys, it's completely crushing.
Yeah, it's man, he's so valuable to this team. It's unbelievable. These massive rebound games, just such a beast. Love to see it for Looney. Anything else with Golden State here? Or we can go to the late game.
No, I think we're good. Everyone, pretty healthy team right now. Which actually, Chris said is this is the first time we're healthy. So yeah,
expect them to close it out at home tonight.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I got my 4-2 exact score ticket. I'm feeling pretty good about that, which I gave out in the pod. Hope you guys got that.
Yeah, I think they will as well. But we'll see. All right, let's talk Memphis. The one true questionable tag on this slate, and that's Luke Kennard with the shoulder injury here. You expect Kennard to go, and if not, how do you expect them to fill in his minutes? He's been getting a legit 20-ish minute role in the series so far.
Yeah, generally downplayed from what they said, but it's Memphis. They're full of crap all the time, so I don't really know what to believe. But one thing we do know is he was headed for minutes. Early sub in the third quarter, not foul related on Dillon Brooks. They are leaning into the shooting lineup. I expect if he's good to go, I think he's gonna play a lot. And I talked a lot about this. I felt really strongly that what the hell? Why is David Roddy playing more than Tyus Jones and Luke Kennard? And they realized it. Roddy got completely booted. I took some unders on him, and so that one garbage time minute was chef's kiss. But yeah, I'm expecting Kennard to play a ton, man. I don't think they would pull the trigger on starting him, but it's gonna be an early sub. I think Dillon Brooks' minutes could really crater. I know you were really talking about him being a terrible play. Yeah. Shout out to you. I think Brooks, because they're very comfortable putting Xavier Tillman on LeBron, Jaren kind of covering AD, which actually hasn't gone that well. But yeah, I think Kennard could be a really, really big impact. Also worth noting too, if you're a psycho person like me, Kennard had a shoulder injury in his Piston days he needed surgery for. It's the other shoulder. So for whatever that's worth, this is a shoulder stinger. Think he'll be okay, but again, I'm have very little to go off of here right now.
Yeah, we saw Roddy get shot right back down to not in the rotation, and John Conchar played 10 minutes. If Kennard cannot go, would you expect more of that? Conchar over Roddy. We saw Aldama got 14. I guess that's how they would fill it in.
It would be more Tyus for sure. I think just getting a little more perimeter punch, taking a little pressure off Ja. I think that kind of worked out pretty well. So I'd expect Tyus to get close to 20. I think they would probably bring Conchar in. Conchar is a little bit more of a 2-3 for them rotation-wise. Roddy's more of a 3-4 for them. So I think that's a little cleaner. Yep. So, Santi's minutes have been better. They had a really strong run when he subbed in the third. Not necessarily because of him, obviously. But, I think that's pretty much where it's going to be. But the headline would be if Kennard's in, I think he's going to really cut into Dillon Brooks.
Yeah, I've been waiting for Tyus to get some more role in this series.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're so anti the overlap and everything that he's just a good player. So I would like to see it, but it didn't matter. They won handily last game. They'll try to fend off elimination once again here tonight in LA. We know, and you see all the starters. They're all going to play huge minutes. We know Xavier Tillman needs to play a lot. And obviously, Bane, Morant, all those guys are going to keep playing. Brooks was the one guy, as you mentioned, that I think is at risk of getting cut down. I think he should, because I don't think he's good. That's a different story. Anyway, all right, Lakers side of things, AD, LeBron, Schroeder, all listed probable. We say starters getting big minutes, except Vanderbilt, 18. I guess take me through what's going on with that other spot and anything else to expect here.
It picked up some quick fouls to cut him down. Perhaps one of the most surprising substitutions for me of like anything was when Josh subbed in the fourth. I was expecting Vanderbilt and Schroeder not to go in, and they didn't. I'm sorry, I was expecting them to go in, and they did not. So that's interesting. Are they going to be leaning into? They put Austin Reeves on him, but that's something I'm keeping an eye on. I think they want to have Vanderbilt be the guy, just because Desmond Bane's really popping off. We saw them rotate their defense a little bit to try to limit Bane after he had, I think, 21 in the first half. So it's something just to kind of keep an eye on for how they're going to approach it. I think they really want Vanderbilt to be the guy. So I hope I'm wrong. We're looking at some unders on him, but yeah, I think he's obviously fine. Expecting pretty normal. They're not going to play him a lot. He's just not that kind of player. But yeah, I expect a lot of minutes out of AD. LeBron, horrible game. He said he's going to come out firing here. I expect him to play better. It's very odd to see LeBron play so poorly. And Austin Reeves, we talked a lot about this. Game one, he played 31 minutes. It was like, what the hell? Why is he playing so little? And now he's playing 37, 35, 37, 40 in the regulation lately. So expecting a lot of minutes out of him. The bench was terrible. They got nothing out of Schroeder, nothing out of Rui Hachimura, nothing out of Troy Brown. They even went to Wenyen Gabriel in the rotation in the first half because the bench was getting killed. The non-AD minutes have gone so badly for them. So I think there's something that could happen, whether they go to Lonnie or somebody like that. I'm kind of curious to see how that works out because Schroeder was terrible in the last game. I expect him to be a little bit better.
Rough look for our guy Schroeder, who we've been into for DFS purposes as a pivot to Reeves and Russell have been getting huge minutes, but huge ownership as well. And we'll talk through that spot again. But yeah, look at those putrid box scores from all those bench guys. Rui had 9 points. After that, it's just, it's brutal. Absolutely brutal. They're gonna need more than that from.
He got cut early too. His first half rotation was short. And then the game got away from them. They won the shooting. But yeah, I think he can crater today because if you remember, we were talking about like putting him in single digit minutes when the series started, and now he got hot. Now he's kind of cold again.
Yep. And he was 4 of 8 from the field, but I guess just the game, as you mentioned, game got away.
Yeah, a couple of those were late. When the game was kind of started.
Gotcha. Cool. Anything else at all to look out for tonight? Or we're all set from an injury front.
No, that's it. Yeah, only Kennard. I think it's kind of crazy. A guy who was 2 games ago was like single digit minutes, and now he's I think a really big impactful player on the slate for how you could approach Memphis because there would be some value with Tyus, and it would make Brooks a little bit more viable.
Yep, we'll be on top of it on the 5 o'clock injury show. 5 o'clock DFS. Keep saying injury show. 5 o'clock DFS show. You'll see these two pretty faces once again. Mike, did you watch any of the NFL draft last night?
I had it on the other TV, but
had it on in the background. I also had on.
What happened? I saw people had like Will Levis like number 2 in the odds, and he's not even drafted yet. That's insane. And I'm not a college guy at all, but I was just watching this. I was like, I've only the highlights I've seen. I was like, people are gonna take this dude number 2. He's like old. He doesn't really have. I don't know.
It was a weird draft as we expected it to be because we didn't know what was gonna happen really after one. But
and I saw your tweet that he had like a different girl with him. Like,
did you see this? I think he's got at least 2 or 3 attractive sisters, and then I think. And then at least one attractive girlfriend, but he had a different girl like on his lap or right next to him, or too close for comfort if it was family. Honestly, anyway, I'm not. It was funny though. Sucks for the guy to fall out of the first round. That's never a good look.
He'll be all right.
He'll be fine, but it's that ends up being the worst day of that kid's life. When you're sitting there and the camera's on you the whole time. But the good news of the NFL draft happening yesterday, today, and tomorrow is that I believe. Best Ball Mania 4 is launching tomorrow night. By our good friends at Underdog Fantasy. So if you want to tell us about them, go right ahead.
Support the people who are supporting us. The show is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yeah, Best Ball Mania 4. I don't need don't need the promo. It's an awesome tournament. $15 million. A lot of regular season stuff for people who, could just try to build the best team. I think there's some edge to that, which I'm sure the guys are going to do a lot of content on. But if you haven't signed up for Underdog yet, you could also use our projections to play their fantasy pick'em games, by the way. But if you haven't signed up for Underdog yet, use promo code ETR for a $100 deposit match. Promo code ETR at underdogfantasy.com. And I will be in the Best Ball Mania 4 streets probably in June when the NBA is starting to wind down. But I'm pretty pumped. I'm going to try to max it as well.
I'll be 150ing as well, as I did last year. Love best ball. And I will wait for the schedule to come out because you need that week 17 goodness. But at the very least, I will be firing throughout the entire summer, including.
Did Leone debunk that? I thought Leone had some tweets about debunking the week 17 correlation.
Yeah, I think that it's probably a little bit overblown, but I at least like to know the matchups before I am drafting, even if I don't.
Just like know which ones are the bad ones.
Yeah, I just want to know the schedule before I decide to do that. But very excited to start drafting over the next couple of weeks when the schedule does come out. And of course, please do support us here at Established Run NBA. Give us a thumbs up on this channel. Please do hit subscribe. We'll be with you as long as it's relevant to keep doing injury shows throughout the playoffs, I believe. Mm-hmm. And of course, we do have packages, weekly packages discounted as well. Season-long packages discounted for the playoffs. We are going to keep bringing you the best projections in the biz. And if you're not going to support us with your hard-earned dollars, please do support us with your hard-earned clicks. We would really appreciate it. Keep feeding that algorithm so we keep feeding our families. I've listened to Drew Dinkmeyer do a lot of these shows. Nom, 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 nom. You'll see, if you're a subscriber, we'll see you at 5 o'clock behind the paywall. Good luck, everybody, with this fun 2-game Friday night slate. We'll see you later. Take care.